In today's video, guys, we're going to go over frost seeding and how it can actually benefit you and your deer herd. Frost seeding is a very powerful tool that you can use on most properties across the deer's range throughout many states. You get down into the far south, sometimes it might not be a good option because it could burn out. But for us, Midwest, Eastern, northern states, it can be a very powerful addition of food source to add to your property. Not only grow deer, build a deer herd, but also attract deer. When frost seeding, there's a lot of issues that can go wrong, but there's also a lot of things that can go right. And I'm going to go over all of them to hopefully help you guys have a successful frost seeding season coming up very soon. We're in the beginning of January now, and frost seeding is not very far away. Over the next 4 to 6 weeks, people are going to start frost seeding, and like I said, it's a very powerful tool to add to your property. When you frost seed, there's a few things you need to pay attention to so you have success. Number one is you don't want to go into an area and frost seed that has never been prepped before. Prepped meaning it was never a food plot, or you didn't control the weeds in the fall leading into the winter, and now you're going into the late winter to frost seed. You just can't just throw seed out into an unprepared area. Now, there are some cases where you can do that. If there's a little bit of open ground, a little bit of soil exposure and things, you would have to literally double or triple the amount of clover in that situation to be able to get a small percentage of that to germinate. The best case scenario is that you are frost seeding into a old fall food plot. So you planted that fall food plot in the fall. Say it was in brassicas. It goes through the winter time, and now we're into February and March, and you're going to frost seed into that existing brassica plot. That's the best case scenario. What I'm seeing a lot of is guys going out there into unprepared areas, throwing seed out. It's not working, it's not growing, and then they're on social media blaming the seed's junk, it didn't work, etc. No, it's called operator error. You didn't do it properly. There's steps in this, guys. The more you prepare with things in life, the better you have success at. Another issue is that I'm seeing is all this snow seeding crap going on social media the past 3 years. Now, if you have a field that has been prepped and you want to frost seed into that, you don't want to do it with a blanket of snow across that. The seeds sit on top of that snow. It makes it easier for the birds to eat the seeds away, and if the snow freezes again and then you get some rain and it melts, the seed's just going to wash off the plot. Especially if you're at a slight angle, all your seed's going to be at that lower level. It's a bad idea. Now, if you have a field that, say there's blotches of snow, right? You have a warm day coming up, and you know that the remaining of that snow is going to be melted, then yes, that's probably okay to do. The best case is just you have no snow and you're going out there into that prepped food plot that, like I said, you planted in the fall. You're going out there and broadcasting that seed. Usually when I'm doing this, I go at about, if it's already a clover plot and you're just freshening that plot up, which you should do every year as well, but I'll go at about half the rate. So if whatever it is, poundage per acre, just say it's 10 pounds per acre on a new plot, I would just go about 5 pounds per acre on that existing clover plot just to kind of freshen it up every winter. If it's a brand new plot, so again, if it's a brassica plot in the fall, you're frost seeding that plot in the winter time to convert it to a clover plot, I'm gonna go at the full rate, 10, maybe 12 pounds, a couple pounds more than what it actually calls for. It's a very good tool to use on your property. Now, clover is really like a year-round food source. You can really feed a lot of deer. It keeps up with browse pressure, and you can feed deer for many months out of the year. You can have these little kind of micro plots to where they're semi-shaded. Maybe you have a little micro plot and then it goes out to a big destination field. That little micro plot, maybe you can plant in clover. What I personally enjoy with clover is that, yes, in November, ish time frame, it tends to go dormant, but deer will still eat it, in that late season. but maybe brassicas are like a better option for that really wintertime food. But deer will still dig at it. They'll dig down through the snow to get to it and things. But what I really enjoy is having a very large food plot. Say it's 3, 4, 5, 6 acres, and it's set up. Not everybody can do this, but if you have that very large destination food plot on your property, to where you're in like this big wood setting, there's really not much ag around, nobody else is doing, habitat work, and you have this big field, and you just want to create this big destination food plot. A clover plot is a very good option for that situation. Off that big destination field, you can have little, food plots where they can funnel out of some bedding areas, hit these little plots, and then they end up in this destination food plot. I love that. I love that situation. I had that at my old farm. And sometimes when I go to properties, I recommend this type of situation, especially if you're trying to grow, a deer herd, put on the pounds, because clover can keep up with that browse pressure and provide a lot of tonnage per year. So I'm definitely going to be frost seeding this year. A lot of different blends out there to frost seed with. The past 3-4 years, I've been using Domain. I've been using Comeback Kid and Hot Chick. I have good results with that. A lot of clover food plot videos on my channel you guys can check out. But really, that's really not much to it, guys. When you go around that field, go clockwise, maybe come back around counterclockwise, go crisscross. Start that seed rate on your bag spreader, or whatever spreader you're using, at a very small gate opening, because you don't want to run out of seed by the time you get to the, around your plot, and you haven't covered the whole thing, you're going to be out of seeds. Just start very low. Just start walking, spreading, just enough to where the seed starts coming out. Do that once. Come back to where your starting point is, see where you're at, go back around again. Keep going back and around crisscross until you're out of seed. That's the best way to do it. I see a lot of guys where they open that seed gate up large and they haven't even covered their plot and they're out of seed. So a lot of things can go right, a lot of things can go wrong. It's all about proper timing. You want to frost seed in a time frame where the daytime highs are getting above freezing, and then at nighttime they're hitting freezing. So when you're or going below freezing. So then when the seed gets on that dirt with the freeze thaw action, it's able to kind of suck that seed in and helps it get covered with soil so it can actually germinate. When the temperatures, soil temperatures get above 55, 58 degrees, they will start sprouting. It's a very good thing to do if you prep it properly. Another mistake here that guys do is frost seed too early. Guys get excited. I get it. You want to go out and do habitat work, but you can do it too early. The reason you don't want to frost seed too early into January and February is because the longer the seed sits there, the more time it has to have runoff. You get heavy rains, it can run off, but it also gives it more time for birds, turkeys, and things to sit there and peck the seeds away. So you put out 10 pounds per acre on your plot, and then all of a sudden, by the time it actually goes to germinate, maybe 5% or 50% of that is germinated and not 100% of it. So you don't want to do it too early. You want to do it in that short time frame where, like I said, your temperatures are getting of 40, 45, 50s, 60s, but at nighttime they're still freezing. It's a perfect time frame. In my area here in Maryland, kind of central PA, western PA, it's going to be that, end of February, early March time frame. That's for me. For you guys in your state, it's going to could be quite differently. Go down south a little bit, or out in the Midwest could be different. Out in Kentucky and things, you might be hitting that mid to early February. So there's a lot of different time frames you can go by. You know best because you live in that area, right? So just kind of look at your weather forecast, know the time frame of that freeze thaw action, get that seed out there into a prepared seed bed, and you guys will have amazing results. Any comments, any questions, leave them down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.